The first concern has to do with savings. Like I said before, savings at all-time low. Do you know what percentage of your income you're supposed to be saving? Yeah, exactly, 10 to 20%. Your 10 to 20% is $500 to $1,000 a month since you make $5,000 a month. How are you doing there? Not very good? If your group could help you to start saving money over time, you'd be all over that, right? Exactly, that's what all the members say. So the next concern has to do with co-pays, lost wages.
An accident can happen to anyone, at any time, and in any place. No matter what your age or circumstances, you could be a victim. Just the thought of an accident taking the life of a loved one is very troubling. It's also troubling how frequently an accident takes the life of someone. When you consider that millions of people seek medical attention for accidental injuries each year, you want protection, both physically and financially. Picture yourself trying to make ends meet when you are unable to work. Just as accidents happen in an instant, the lives of your loved ones are changed in that same instant. The Emergency Accident Benefit pays for treatment as an outpatient within 72 hours of an injury. This benefit is not paid if you receive any other benefits under this policy. The Hospital Confinement Benefit pays if you are confined in a hospital due to an accidental injury for any one accident. The Intensive Care Benefit is payable the first day of intensive care confinement, up to a 14-day maximum for any one accident. The Accidental Death and Dismemberment Benefit pays scheduled benefits in the event of an accidental death, also known as the principal sum. This benefit amount is doubled if the accidental injury resulted from driving or riding as a passenger in an automobile. Benefits are multiplied by 5 if the accidental injury resulted from riding as a fare-paying passenger in a licensed common carrier, such as a ship, bus, or airplane. The policy pays the full principal sum for a double payment, such as the loss of both hands or feet. The policy pays half the principal sum for a single payment, such as the loss of one hand or foot. This coverage is guaranteed renewable. As long as you pay the premium, your policy cannot be canceled. This policy pays in addition to group, health and welfare, or workers' compensation coverage. Your representative will review the outline of coverage with you and give you specific information about covered injuries, the benefits paid for each injury, and any limitations or exclusions. You can't foresee when an accident may happen, but you can be prepared if it does.
So this is going to give you $150 for an accident injury that you go to the ER, stat care, or urgent care for. $300 for an accident or injury that you go to the hospital overnight stay. $600 for an accident or injury for intensive care that you go to the ICU. Right now, you don't have any of this coverage. So the next concern deals with funerals and final expenses.
The warmth of family is one of the most beautiful and valued things in life. For this reason, saying goodbye to a loved one can be difficult, and even more so when we are not prepared. The emotional distress adds to the financial burden. It can be devastating to lose the family savings or even the family inheritance. The average cost of a funeral continues to rise, and these expenses can be higher depending on where you live. Keep in mind that funeral and cemetery expenses increase each year due to inflation and other economic factors. At 4% a year for the next 20 years, the cost of a funeral will have risen above $30,000. Expenses become even more overwhelming when you consider that Social Security only pays a $255 death benefit, and that's if you qualify. That still leaves all of the expenses for your family to cover. The last thing we want is to leave our loved ones in this kind of situation when we perish, isn't it? That's why it is important to anticipate for future events with preparation. Otherwise, who would be responsible for those unforeseen and sometimes escalating expenses that no one is ready for? We all want our last goodbye to bring comfort and leave a loving memory of us in the hearts of our loved ones. However, these good feelings can be diminished when we do not have coverage for final expenses and a burden is presented that could mean thousands and thousands of dollars. For this situation, American Income Life recommends our whole life policy along with the Freedom of Choice certificate. The process is simple and can be used to cover your final expenses up to the face value of your policy. Your beneficiary takes the certificate to the chosen funeral home, agrees to the service details, and writes the total amount on the back, signs it, and hands the certificate to the funeral home director. When the service is needed, the funeral home director calls the number on the certificate to speak directly to a claims representative. Payment is made directly from our company to the funeral home, and the remainder, if any, is paid to the beneficiary in a lump sum check. The decision is simple, and your family deserves it. Obtain final expense coverage, which allows you to have the Freedom of Choice certificate. That way, you will help avoid many problems for your loved ones. Today, you can enjoy the tranquility of knowing in that inevitable moment, there will be peace. If you're giving them the best today, prepare for tomorrow. Leave them only beautiful memories. Love is shown with action.
This is the Freedom of Choice certificate that the video talked about. I'll leave one of these here for you as well. So you currently have $5,000 in coverage, and you need $25,000 in the Freedom of Choice funeral benefit. And Mary, you don't have any coverage right now, so you need $30,000 in coverage. Jim and Mary, you can see how critical it would be to have this in place for your family when you die. Yes. Now, have you ever considered if you went from 2 paychecks to 1 or 1 paycheck to none?
Your paycheck is the economic heartbeat of your family. It pays your rent, utilities, car payment, medical insurance, groceries, incidentals, leisure. Most families take this for granted until it stops. It is an economic heart attack. AIL's Income Protection Program, funded by Term Insurance, keeps your income flowing, which keeps economic life in the family. Our recommendation is that you provide up to 5 years of income replacement to take care of your family after you're gone, which would give your spouse and loved ones time to adjust to their loss, both emotionally and financially. If you died tomorrow, wouldn't you want your loved ones to know that you were thinking of them today?
So right now you don't have any income protection on either one of you, and it's recommending for William, it's recommending $60,060 for 5 years, and for Mary it's recommending $72,000 for 3 years. Okay, Jim and Mary, can you see how important it would be to have your income completely taken care of for the next 3 or 5 years? Yes, of course it would. What arrangements have you made to pay off your mortgage in the case of an accidental death?
Everyone dreams of owning their own home. The purchase of your house is the single largest investment your family will ever make. But a house is more than just an investment, isn't it? It's your home, where your memories are, where your family feels safe, and you have chosen to raise your children. It's the centerpiece for your family's life, a place where your family can grow strong and create new and loving memories. But we don't know how long we will be able to share those moments. Unfortunately, everything can change in the blink of an eye. An accident can happen to anyone, at any time, and in any place. No matter what your age or circumstances, you or a family member could be a victim. It is also troubling how frequently an accident takes the life of someone. Protect your family and your home in the event of your accidental death. Imagine what would happen if you were no longer here to provide economic support for your family, no longer able to cover expenses like your mortgage. Would they have to move to a smaller home or to a less desirable area? Would your children have to change schools? The grief of losing a family member is always tough. How much more difficult would it be for your family to have to change their entire lifestyle? That's why it is important to be prepared. Don't you think it makes sense to protect your family today?
Okay, right now you don't have anything for your mortgage protection, and it's recommending $150,000 for this need, and this is covered through an accidental death benefit. Okay, Mary, would it give you peace of mind to know that you and the kids wouldn't have to worry about making another house payment whenever Jim died? Of course not. Whenever one of you pass away, typically college dreams are shattered. Would you still want your kids to go to college? Of course.
As parents, you hope to see your children go to college. You know the difference a college degree could make in your children's future earning potential. But if you died and your income was no longer there to help your children with their future education, how would they afford to go to college? Your unexpected death could mean your children won't be able to afford a college education. They could miss out on this opportunity and a lifetime of extra earnings. An accident can happen to anyone, at any time, and in any place. No matter what your age or circumstances, you or a family member could be a victim. It is also troubling how frequently an accident takes the life of someone. Protect your child's education in the event of your accidental death. Have you considered how expensive your child's college education will be? The total average cost of a college education continues to rise, no matter if your child plans to attend a 2-year college, a 4-year university, or obtain a postgraduate degree. If the price of sending a child to college increased at its current rate annually for the next 10 years, the cost of a college education could seem out of reach. How will your child pay for college if you aren't there? And what will it cost your children and their children if each generation of their family can't afford to earn a college degree? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nearly $1.5 million over their lifetime of earnings. What would it be worth to you to give your child $1.5 million of earning potential over their lifetime? You can easily see the true value of your child's education in total lifetime earnings. Even in tough economic times, the rate of unemployment for individuals with a bachelor's degree or higher is about half the rate of unemployment for those with only a high school diploma. You can make plans now to ensure your child can afford to attend college if you aren't there to help pay for it. Don't let them miss out on the opportunity for a lifetime of extra earnings to provide for their families.
Okay, so this benefit here, right now you don't have anything for this need. So we're going to give $25,000 for this need for each child, okay? It probably goes without saying how important that is, right? Now, also included is a $10,000 life insurance plan on each of your children. Right now, you don't have any benefit on your children, so we're going to go ahead and set up the $10,000 life insurance plan on your children. The next concern has to do with cancer. I'm going to go ahead and play the video for that.
When cancer strikes, it shows no favoritism. Everyone is at risk, infants or adults, single or married, young or old. Who doesn't have or know of family members and friends who've been diagnosed recently? The statistics are staggering. Cancer is the world's top killer, and deaths caused by cancer are projected to continue rising. In their lifetime, men have a 1 in 2 chance of developing cancer. Women have a 1 in 3 chance of developing cancer. Medical advances have increased chances of survival, but surviving a cancer diagnosis often causes financial hardship for families, whether the patient is the primary wage earner or another member of the family. Medical expenses are a leading cause of bankruptcies. The majority of working men and women don't have the financial resources to survive while they are unable to work. Cancer patients have often found that their health insurance does not cover all their expenses, such as hospital deductibles and co-insurance or co-pays, or long convalescence and out-of-town lodging at a specialty treatment center. These expenses don't include the normal living expenses that must be met each month, like the mortgage or rent, utilities, food, transportation, childcare, tuition, and clothing. If you are diagnosed with cancer and are unable to work, how difficult will it be for your family to pay the bills without your income? 1 in 5 people with health insurance who are diagnosed with cancer use all or most of their savings because of the financial cost of dealing with cancer. The simple question is, are you at risk? How often has cancer touched your family? It's a frightening reality for many. Fortunately, our supplemental cancer plans may help offset the financial burden. The real benefit is that you are able to focus on recovery while relieving your family of the financial stress that cancer can cause. Your representative will explain in detail the cancer plans available to you.
Okay, so right now you don't have anything for this plan. We're going to go ahead and set you up for a plan for up to $150,000 in cancer plan. We're going to just go ahead and set this up on your whole family. You can say why this concern is so critical, right? If you were diagnosed with a terminal illness, such as cancer, you can access half of your freedom of choice and income protection policies while you're still alive. And I'm going to go ahead and set that up on both of you. They also come with a layoff waiver, which if you become laid off, they'll cover your benefits for 3 months. And for strike, it's 12 months. This is also permanent and portable, so if you move to another state or get divorced, you can take this policy with you individually. Make sense?